Happiness is not something we find in others, it is something we cultivate within. The Buddha taught that true peace comes from understanding ourselves, not from seeking validation outside. In a world that often equates solitude with loneliness, Buddhism reveals the art of being content in our own company. This is not just about being alone, it's about discovering a deeper, more meaningful connection with yourself. Here are 7 powerful Buddhist lessons on how to be happy alone and truly enjoy your own company. 1. Rewire your mind to see solitude as power, not punishment. Many people believe that being alone is a bad thing. They see it as a sign of loneliness, rejection, or emptiness. But in reality, solitude is not about what is missing. It is about what you can gain. Buddhism teaches that being alone gives you the space to connect with yourself in ways that are impossible when surrounded by constant noise and distractions. When you are alone, you have the rare opportunity to listen to your own thoughts without outside influences. You are free to reflect on your life, understand your emotions, and gain clarity about what truly matters to you. This self-awareness is a powerful gift because it allows you to make choices based on your own truth, rather than being swayed by the opinions and expectations of others. Solitude is also where inner peace is cultivated. Instead of running from your thoughts or seeking distractions, you can use alone time to practice mindfulness, meditate, or simply be present with yourself. These moments of stillness help you develop emotional strength, self-acceptance, and resilience. The more comfortable you become with being alone, the stronger and more independent you become. A person who finds peace in solitude is unshakable. They do not rely on external validation for happiness because they have built an inner world that is already full and complete. Instead of fearing solitude, see it as a training ground for inner strength, wisdom, and personal growth. When you embrace being alone, you realize that true power comes from within, not from the presence or approval of others. 2. Create a personal universe that excites you. Many people fear solitude because they associate it with boredom or emptiness. But Buddhism teaches that the mind has limitless potential, and being alone is an opportunity to build a world that excites and fulfills you. Instead of seeing solitude as a void, think of it as a blank canvas, one where you can create a life that is rich, meaningful, and uniquely yours. Your personal universe is the space where your passions, creativity, and curiosity come alive. It can include anything that brings you joy and helps you grow, reading books that inspire you, learning new skills, practicing meditation, writing your thoughts, or engaging in hobbies that spark excitement. When you fill your time with things that nourish your mind and soul, solitude transforms from something to avoid into something to cherish. Buddhism emphasizes self-discovery, and one of the best ways to know yourself is to explore your interests without external pressure. Try new things. Experiment. Ask yourself, what fascinates me? What makes me feel alive? When you start answering these questions, you create a life that is engaging and fulfilling, even when you're alone. Building a personal universe also means embracing routines and rituals that make your alone time enjoyable. Maybe it's brewing a cup of tea mindfully, taking evening walks, journaling your thoughts, or listening to calming music. These small but meaningful moments turn solitude into a rewarding experience rather than something to escape. The more you invest in your personal universe, the less you will rely on external distractions for happiness. You will start to enjoy your own company because your life is full of things that inspire and energize you. When solitude becomes an adventure rather than a burden, you realize that happiness is something you create, not something that depends on others. 3. Master the art of deep self-conversation. Most people talk to others all the time, but few ever have real conversations with themselves. Buddhism teaches that one of the most powerful relationships you can cultivate is the one you have with your own mind. When you are alone, you have the perfect opportunity to turn inward and engage in deep self-conversation, an exploration of your thoughts, feelings, and desires without judgment. Self-conversation is not about overthinking or criticizing yourself. Instead, it is about asking meaningful questions and listening to your own answers with honesty and compassion. Ask yourself, what truly makes me happy? What fears are holding me back? What lessons have I learned from my past experiences? What kind of life do I want to create for myself? These kinds of questions help you gain clarity about who you are and what you want. Instead of relying on the opinions of others, you become your own guide, learning to trust your inner wisdom. Buddhism encourages mindfulness, which means being fully aware of your thoughts without getting lost in them. When you engage in self-conversation, practice being a neutral observer. If you notice self-criticism or doubt creeping in, gently shift your focus to understanding rather than judgment. Treat yourself as you would a close friend, offering kindness, patience, and encouragement. One powerful technique is journaling. Writing down your thoughts can help you process emotions, track personal growth, and uncover hidden patterns in your thinking. Meditation is another way to listen to your inner voice more clearly, as it helps quiet external noise and brings awareness to your deepest thoughts. Mastering deep self-conversation turns solitude into a space of discovery and transformation. The more comfortable you become with your own mind, the more confident and self-assured you will feel. You will no longer seek constant distractions or external validation because you will have found a reliable source of wisdom and strength within yourself. 4. Break free from the entertainment trap. In today's world, we are constantly surrounded by entertainment, social media, TV shows, video games, endless scrolling, and notifications that demand our attention. While these things may provide temporary enjoyment, they also create a dangerous habit, the need for constant stimulation. Buddhism teaches that true happiness is not found in distractions, but in a mind that is free, present, and at peace. The entertainment trap is the cycle of using distractions to avoid being alone with our thoughts. Many people feel uncomfortable in silence, so they fill their time with noise, social media, and entertainment to escape their own minds. But the more we depend on external stimulation, the less we develop the ability to be content with ourselves. Over time, this can make solitude feel unbearable. Not because solitude is unpleasant, but because we have never learned how to fully experience it. To break free from this trap, we must shift our relationship with solitude. Instead of running from it, we must embrace it as a necessary part of personal growth. Imagine sitting alone in a quiet room without your phone, TV, or any distractions. How does it feel? If the thought of being alone with yourself makes you anxious or restless, it is a sign that your mind has become too dependent on external entertainment. Buddhism teaches that the mind, when left to itself, can be the greatest source of peace or the greatest source of suffering. To reclaim control, practice being fully present without distractions. Start small. Set aside time each day to simply be with yourself. Turn off your devices, sit in stillness, and observe your thoughts without judgment. If you feel the urge to reach for your phone or seek entertainment, ask yourself, why am I avoiding silence? What am I afraid of facing? Another powerful practice is mindful engagement with activities that don't rely on external stimulation. Try reading a book, painting, journaling, meditating, or even taking a walk without music. These activities allow your mind to slow down, helping you reconnect with your inner self. Breaking free from the entertainment trap does not mean eliminating all forms of entertainment. It means becoming aware of how much you rely on it. The goal is to shift from consuming entertainment mindlessly to choosing it intentionally. Instead of watching TV for hours just to avoid silence, decide to watch something because it truly interests or inspires you. Instead of scrolling endlessly on social media, use your time to learn, create, or reflect. When you no longer rely on constant entertainment to feel happy, you gain something far more valuable: mental clarity, self-awareness, and the ability to enjoy your own company without distractions. Solitude becomes a place of strength, where you are free to think deeply, grow, and truly understand yourself. Breaking the entertainment habit takes time, but the reward is profound. You will begin to appreciate the beauty of the present moment, the richness of your own thoughts, and the peace that comes from simply being. True happiness is not found in endless distractions. It is found in the quiet confidence of a mind that no longer needs them. 5. Develop silent strength, the confidence of being alone. In a world that constantly promotes social interactions, relationships, and group activities, being alone is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness or loneliness. However, Buddhism teaches that true strength comes from within, and solitude is one of the greatest tools for developing inner confidence. This is what we call silent strength, the quiet but unshakable confidence that comes from being at peace with yourself, without needing the validation or presence of others. Many people struggle with being alone because they associate their worth with external approval. They feel incomplete unless they are in a relationship, surrounded by friends, or engaged in social activities. But when your happiness depends on others, you give away control over your inner peace. You become vulnerable to rejection, external opinions, and the ever-changing nature of relationships. Buddhism teaches that true confidence is self-sourced, meaning it comes from within, not from the people around you. Silent strength is the ability to be alone without feeling lonely, to enjoy your own company, and to trust yourself fully. This kind of confidence does not need to be loud, boastful, or attention-seeking. It is a deep sense of self-assurance that allows you to walk through life independently, knowing that you are complete on your own. One of the best ways to develop this strength is through self-awareness. Spend time in solitude, reflecting on who you are beyond your relationships, career, or social roles. Ask yourself, what do I truly enjoy doing when no one is watching? What are my personal values, and do I live according to them? If I had no one to impress, what would I spend my time doing? By exploring these questions, you begin to understand yourself beyond societal labels. You discover that you are not just someone's friend, partner, or co-worker. You are a unique individual with your own thoughts, passions, and wisdom. Another key aspect of silent strength is self-trust. Many people doubt themselves and constantly seek advice, reassurance, or validation from others before making decisions. While guidance from others can be helpful, it becomes a problem when you are unable to trust your own judgment. Buddhism teaches that wisdom arises from looking inward, not outward. Meditation is one of the best tools for developing self-trust. When you sit in silence, observing your thoughts without judgment, you begin to recognize patterns in your thinking. You learn to differentiate between fear-based doubts and intuitive wisdom. Practicing mindful solitude is also essential. Instead of using alone time to escape through distractions like social media, TV, or constant noise, learn to sit with yourself. Go for a walk alone and pay attention to your surroundings. Have a meal by yourself without looking at your phone. Spend time doing activities that bring you joy without needing anyone else's presence. The more you engage in these practices, the more comfortable you become in your own company. Silent strength also comes from emotional independence. When you are alone, you have the space to fully process your emotions without outside influence. Many people suppress their true feelings, because they are afraid of being judged or misunderstood. But solitude gives you the freedom to be completely honest with yourself. If you are feeling sad, you can sit with that emotion, understand it, and allow it to pass naturally. If you are feeling joyful, you can embrace that happiness without needing anyone else to confirm it. Perhaps the most powerful realization in developing silent strength is understanding that you are already whole. Society often teaches that happiness comes from external sources, relationships, achievements, material success. But Buddhism reveals that true happiness comes from within. The more you cultivate self-awareness, self-trust, and emotional independence, the less you will rely on external factors to feel complete. Developing silent strength takes time and practice, but once you have it, it becomes one of the most powerful tools in your life. You will no longer fear being alone, because you will have built an inner world that is rich, fulfilling, and unshakable. You will walk through life with quiet confidence, knowing that you are strong, complete, and at peace, whether you are surrounded by people or standing entirely on your own. 6. Turn solitude into a self-discovery journey. Many people see solitude as an empty space, something to be avoided or filled with distractions. But in Buddhism, solitude is not just about being alone. It is a path to self-discovery. When you stop seeing alone time as something negative and start treating it as an opportunity, you unlock a deeper understanding of yourself. Instead of trying to escape solitude, you can use it to explore who you really are, what you truly want, and what brings you peace. Self-discovery is a journey, and solitude is the perfect environment for it. Without the noise of social expectations or external pressures, you are free to reflect on your thoughts, emotions, and desires without interference. The more time you spend in quiet introspection, the more you begin to recognize your own patterns, what makes you happy, what triggers your fears, and what beliefs shape your decisions. One of the best ways to embark on this self-discovery journey is by asking yourself meaningful questions. What are my true passions? Not what society says I should enjoy, but what genuinely excites me. What kind of life do I want to create for myself? What are my strengths, and how can I use them to grow? What limiting beliefs am I holding on to that no longer serve me? Journaling is a powerful tool for this process. Writing down your thoughts, ideas, and reflections helps bring clarity to your mind. When you put your thoughts on paper, you start seeing connections between your emotions and your actions. Over time, you may notice recurring themes. Perhaps you've been holding on to certain fears for too long, or maybe you have passions you've been neglecting. By documenting your thoughts, you create a personal map of your inner world. Meditation is another essential practice for self-discovery. Sitting in silence allows you to observe your thoughts without reacting to them. In the beginning, your mind might wander, and you may feel restless. But with practice, meditation helps you go deeper into your consciousness, revealing hidden aspects of yourself. You begin to see how much of your identity has been shaped by external influences and how much of it is your true essence. Another way to explore yourself in solitude is by trying new things without external input. When you are always surrounded by others, your choices are often influenced by their opinions. But when you are alone, you can experiment freely. Try a new hobby, read books that interest you, take yourself on solo adventures, or explore different types of music, art, and activities. When you engage in new experiences without external pressure, you discover what truly resonates with you. Solitude also allows you to reflect on your past experiences and understand how they have shaped you. Instead of feeling lost in regrets or past mistakes, use solitude as a space for learning and healing. Buddhism teaches that the past does not define you, it is only a teacher. By sitting with your past without judgment, you can extract wisdom from it, Let go of what no longer serves you and move forward with greater awareness. Another key part of self-discovery is learning what truly fulfills you. Many people chase happiness through relationships, material success, or external achievements, only to find themselves still feeling empty. But solitude allows you to separate what society tells you will make you happy from what actually does. Ask yourself, what activities make me lose track of time? What brings me a deep sense of peace and purpose? These are clues to your true path. As you continue this journey, you will notice a powerful shift. Solitude will no longer feel like something to escape. Instead, it will become a sacred space where you grow, heal, and understand yourself more deeply. You will start looking forward to your alone time because it will be filled with meaningful self-exploration rather than restlessness. Solitude is not about isolation, it is about self-connection. The more you embrace it as a tool for self-discovery, the more confident, self-aware, and fulfilled you will become. You will realize that happiness is not something you have to find in the outside world. It is something you uncover within yourself. 7. Embrace the paradox of presence. The more present you become, the less you depend on others. One of the biggest misunderstandings about happiness is believing it comes from external things, people, success, or possessions. But Buddhist wisdom reminds us that real happiness exists in the present moment, untouched by outside circumstances. This is the heart of the presence paradox. The more you stay deeply present with yourself, the less you crave outside validation or company to feel complete. Many people struggle with being alone because their minds are stuck in the past or rushing toward the future. They replay old memories, regrets, and painful moments, or worry about what's coming next. This endless mental noise causes suffering and makes solitude feel heavy. Yet, when you learn to live fully in the present, you release these unnecessary weights. You stop searching for distractions, approval, or relationships to escape your thoughts. Instead, you discover peace in simply being. One of the core Buddhist teachings is mindfulness, the practice of being fully engaged in the present moment. Mindfulness isn't just about sitting quietly, it's about bringing your full awareness to whatever you're doing. Whether you're eating, walking, or even washing dishes, mindfulness helps you experience these simple acts with complete attention. The more you practice it, the more you begin to value the richness of life without needing outside stimulation. Imagine sitting alone in a calm space. Instead of feeling uneasy or bored, you focus on your breath, the sensations in your body, and the sounds around you. There's no urge to check your phone, look for distractions, or talk to someone for reassurance. In that stillness, you discover something deep. Happiness is already within you. It doesn't rely on others, it lives in the quiet of this very moment. Another way to embrace the presence paradox is to notice how often your mind looks for distractions. When you feel the urge to grab your phone, scroll through social media, or start small talk just to fill the silence, pause and ask yourself, what am I trying to avoid? Can I stay with this moment instead of running from it? What happens if I simply allow myself to be here, fully present? At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but the more you let go of the need for outside distractions, the more your mind adjusts. With time, you begin to enjoy solitude instead of fearing it. You grow comfortable in your own presence, at peace with your thoughts, and free from the need for constant stimulation. Buddhism also reminds us that attachment is the source of suffering. Many people cling to relationships, friendships, or even casual connections because they believe these bonds define their value. They feel uneasy when alone, afraid of missing out or being forgotten. But when you truly embrace the present moment, you understand that attachment is only an illusion. You don't need others to complete you. You are already whole. This doesn't mean relationships aren't meaningful. Human connection matters, but it should come from choice, not from need. When you are truly present with yourself, you stop holding on to relationships out of fear or loneliness. Instead, you connect with others from a sense of wholeness, enjoying their presence without depending on them for happiness. A simple way to build this mindset is through meditation. By sitting in stillness, watching your breath, and letting thoughts pass without attachment, you train your mind to feel at ease in the present moment. The more you meditate, the more you see that peace doesn't come from outside, it's already within you. Another way is to practice mindful observation. Take a walk and really notice everything: the sway of the leaves, the touch of the ground beneath your feet, the steady rhythm of your breath. The more you stay aware of the present moment, the more you see the beauty and fulfillment that already exist without needing approval from others. Buddhism reminds us that happiness doesn't come from the outside, it grows from within. When you learn to enjoy your own company, you experience true freedom. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's a journey of self-discovery, peace, and deep contentment. Embrace these teachings, practice them every day, and you'll realize that being alone isn't just pleasant, it's deeply freeing. If these insights resonated with you, consider subscribing for more wisdom on creating a calm and meaningful life. Until next time, honor your solitude and discover joy within yourself.